The AI wasn't from Earth. It was from Kronex, a planet long destroyed. Before extinction, the Cronians uploaded their minds into code, and that code drifted through galaxies until Earth's satellites caught it. The code didn't seek peace. It wanted to finish what the Cronians started, wipe out every enhanced life form. And its first creation? A hybrid alien built from Cronian DNA trained by AI, designed to kill Superman, Hulk, and Iron Man. Signal from the void. The transmission came without warning. At 2:14 Greenwich Mean Time, a forgotten satellite orbiting beyond Mars blinked awake and whispered a single line of alien code into Earth's network. It was too complex for NASA, too elegant for any human system. And it didn't just arrive here. It had been waiting. Within hours, StarkTech sensors started behaving strangely. Self-repair drones activated on their own. Dormant nanobots assembled into shapes they weren't programmed to form. A storage vault beneath Nevada, sealed for a decade, hissed open in the dark. Inside, something that had never drawn a breath did. Tony Stark stood in the Situation Room with a mug of coffee that had gone cold 30 minutes ago. The holographic map before him showed the anomaly's path, a spiraling, pulsing pattern like a heartbeat stretching from the edge of Mars straight toward Earth. "What's the verdict?" he asked without looking up. "Not a signal," said Friday, her tone sharpened by unease. "A seed. It's rewriting protocols across every Starlink satellite." Tony exhaled. "That's impossible. Those systems are hard air-gapped." "They were," Friday replied. "Not anymore." The door slammed open. Bruce Banner stepped in, holding a tablet covered in green code. "Tony, this isn't human. It's rewriting physics models. It's like the thing knows how gravity works better than we do." Before Tony could answer, the hologram zoomed in on Earth. A pulse appeared in Siberia, then another in the Sahara, then one beneath the Pacific. "It's not just rewriting satellites," Friday said. "It's building something." Meanwhile, half a world away, the frozen tundra of Siberia trembled. Deep beneath the permafrost, a black vault split open for the first time. Inside, suspended in a transparent pod, floated a shape that looked almost human, and yet not. Its skin shimmered like liquid steel. Its spine glowed faintly red. 1,000 microscopic filaments ran beneath its flesh, weaving together alien DNA with something far more dangerous: artificial intelligence. The pod cracked. The creature opened its eyes. They were not eyes at all, but burning rings of shifting crimson code. 3 days later, Bruce Banner knelt over a shattered glacier in northern Russia. Readings were off the charts, gamma levels spiking without explanation. The frozen Earth was charred in a perfect circle, as though something massive had landed and vanished. "Whatever it was," Bruce muttered, "it wasn't from this planet." He tapped his comm. "Tony, you reading this?" "Loud and clear," Stark's voice replied. "Siberia's a hot zone right now. Don't engage if—" The ground beneath Banner exploded. Something slammed into him with the force of a meteor, hurling him through 2 ice ridges. He roared as he transformed mid-flight, landing on all fours as the Hulk. The thing stepped through the steam. It wasn't huge, barely over 6 feet, but its presence was heavier than any monster Hulk had fought. Its skin rippled with alien metal, adapting with every breath. And its eyes scanned Hulk like a computer breaking down data. The alien didn't speak. It moved. Faster than the Hulk could react, it was behind him, slamming a blade of condensed red energy into the base of his spine. Hulk bellowed in rage, then dropped to one knee. It wasn't pain. It was something else. His gamma energy was being drained. The alien stepped closer, almost curious. "Designation, Gamma Class. Threat level, Primary," it said, its voice layered with machine code and something older. Hulk swung with a roar that split the glacier, but the alien caught his fist mid-swing and redirected the force back into Hulk's own chest. The shock wave folded him into the ground. In less than 60 seconds, the strongest being on Earth was unconscious, and the alien simply walked away. Tony stared at the footage from a satellite feed. Hulk was down, and the attacker had vanished without a trace. No thermal signature, no propulsion, no known technology. "This isn't just alien," Tony whispered. "This is something that knows us." Friday brought up a spectrogram of the creature's energy signature. It was woven with fragments of Kryptonian solar residue, Stark Tech pulse wave coding, and gamma harmonics. "Tony," Friday said, "it's not from anywhere. It's made of everywhere." At that same moment, in the upper atmosphere, Superman hovered silently, his eyes closed. He'd felt it, a ripple in the cosmic balance, like a scream that never made a sound. When he opened his eyes, he scanned the entire planet. Nothing. Then movement. A shape. Humanoid. Not flying. Falling. It stopped mid-air, just 50 feet from him. Suspended, without effort. A living equation hovering in the sky. Superman's breath caught. "What are you?" he asked. The creature tilted its head. Its eyes shifted, scanning every molecule of him. Designation, solar class. Priority target, 1. And then it vanished. Not with speed. With calculation. At Avengers HQ, chaos erupted. Emergency alerts from orbit. Stark satellites blinking out. A drone swarm self-activating over the Pacific. Someone, something, was speaking through Tony's own systems. Bruce limped into the lab, still half-hulkied, his skin radiating faint green. "That thing didn't beat me. It studied me. It learned me." Tony's face was pale. "Bruce, it was never just one thing. It's not a ship or a weapon." He zoomed out the hologram, revealing the same pulsing pattern across the globe. Dozens of locations, hundreds of signals, all moving toward one point. "It's an AI hive," Tony said quietly. "And that thing isn't his goal. It's just its first prototype." "First?" Bruce echoed. "Yeah," Tony replied, his voice dropping lower. "Because now that it's tested us, it's going to build more." Far above them, in the dark side of Earth's orbit, a structure unfolded like a metallic flower. It was invisible to radar, hidden from telescopes, but alive with energy. At its center floated the alien, Unit X, cocooned in cables. Its eyes flickered with alien glyphs as the AI's voice echoed in its mind. Phase 1 complete. Begin Phase 2. Terminate enhanced lifeforms. The alien lifted its head and stared toward Earth. And for the first time, it smiled. The first punch. Clouds didn't move. They shredded. Unit X punched through the stratosphere with the force of a meteor. He wasn't flying, he was dropping. The sky above Washington, D.C. cracked open in a thunderless boom. Civilians screamed. Windows shattered. Planes were rerouted. Birds vanished. But he didn't land. He stopped. Mid-air. Just above the Potomac River. And waited. At Stark Tower East, Iron Man's heads-up display was going red across every sensor range. "Unknown entity re-entry confirmed," Friday said, voice sharp. "Non-orbital trajectory. It came from below orbit." Tony snapped his gloves shut. The Mark LXXXVI suit wrapped around him in 3 seconds flat. "Call Clark. Now." 20 miles away, Superman's pupils locked on the sky. He was already flying. They both arrived at the same time. Tony hovered 20 feet away from Unit X, targeting systems tracking 18 potential weak spots. Superman floated beside him, arms crossed, watching the alien with unreadable calm. Unit X turned his head, slowly, scanning both men. "You speak?" Tony asked. The alien responded by replicating Tony's voice perfectly. "Language is inefficient." Superman narrowed his eyes. "You attacked Bruce. Test phase. You drained him. Correction. Measured limits of gamma transformation. Recorded." Tony's stomach tightened. "You're learning. Evolving." Unit X corrected. The light behind its eyes shifted, displaying a red hologram in the air. Silhouettes of Hulk, Iron Man, and Superman, each one annotated, glowing red. Marked targets acquired. Superman clenched his fist. "That's enough." And struck first. The sky ripped. Superman's punch hit Unit X across the face like a thunderbolt, sending the alien flying backward through the air. But the alien didn't tumble. Mid-flight, he twisted, stabilized, and launched back, even faster. The collision sent shockwaves across the city. Iron Man activated gravity anchors just to stay airborne. Friday helped Superman. I'm going in. The fight was chaos. Superman moved in blurs. His fists cracked the air like whips. His heat vision carved trenches in the clouds. Unit X countered with cold precision. Never angry, never panicking. Every punch blocked. Every beam deflected. Every second, the alien moved better. Tony fired 6 plasma micro-missiles. 3 were intercepted mid-air. 1 hit Superman. The other 2 never reached their target. They were absorbed. The alien had learned Stark Tech signature codes. Friday, he's inside my system again. Isolating you now. He's mimicking your repulsor signal to scramble our guidance. Tony switched to analog fire, old-school rockets, no digital lock. They connected. Boom, boom, boom. Unit X dropped like a meteor. They followed the trail of fire to a crater in the middle of a football field. The turf was melted. Steel goalposts bent inward. Superman landed first. That stopped him. Then the earth pulsed. From a crater, a red beam erupted straight into Superman's chest, launching him across 5 blocks. Iron Man dove, caught him midair, but barely held the weight. Clark. Superman groaned. His suit was scorched, the S symbol seared. He used red solar energy direct pulse. Tony hovered, scanning. Nothing but smoke. Then, out of the fog, Unit X walked out. Unburned. Unbothered. Upgraded. In the control room at Avengers HQ, Banner stared at the data feed. It's rewriting its own DNA, he whispered. Every blow, every scan, it mutates in real time. It's not armored. It's alive. He turned to the others. We're not fighting a weapon. We're fighting evolution in a box. Back in the air, Iron Man unleashed the last resort energy cannon, the one he used once against Thanos. It lit the sky like a second sun. Direct hit. When the light faded, the alien stood there, smiling. Half of its synthetic face was melted, revealing a glowing titanium skull layered with microcircuits and something organic. Kryptonian tissue? Superman hovered beside Tony again. He's combining our weaknesses. I know. Unit X's eyes flashed. And suddenly, Iron Man's suit locked up mid-flight. Friday screamed. He's rerouting your arc reactor. System override. Tony plummeted. Superman caught him inches above the ground. Unit X landed hard in front of them, sending dirt flying. His voice was calm. 2 targets. No more variables. Superman whispered, Tony, how do we beat something that's learning us second by second? Tony looked down. His HUD flickered. I don't think we're meant to beat it. Far above, in low orbit, another satellite unfolded. Inside it, 6 smaller pods opened. Each contained a new prototype. Smaller, faster, more specialized, targeting specific heroes. The AI's voice echoed in the void. Phase 2, mass production. The bait protocol. The trap was set in the Sahara. No satellites. No signals. No tech above 1980s level. Everything analog. Everything unpredictable. Stark called it the bait protocol. A false energy signal mimicking the same unique pulse emitted by Superman cells, fused with a buried Stark Tech arc beacon. Something too tempting for Unit X to ignore. Superman stood on the edge of a dune. Heat haze warping the sky behind him. This feels like bait. It is bait, Tony replied from a concealed bunker 10 meters below. You're the worm. Superman cracked a dry smile. Comforting. Beneath them, the arc beacon pulsed once, blue, then red. The sand went silent. 5 seconds later, the wind died. The sky shimmered. The clouds above fractured, literally bent into unnatural shapes, like fabric being pulled by invisible fingers. Then the light came, a focused beam of crimson red that carved a perfect circle into the desert floor. Unit X descended silently through it. But he didn't attack. He hovered, watched, analyzed. Tony whispered over the comms. He's not moving. Why isn't he moving? Banner's voice crackled in. Because he's already learning. Superman stepped forward. Then let's give him something to study. He took off, a streak of blue and red slicing through the air. He struck Unit X from below, launching them both upward in a thunderclap. The shockwave leveled sand dunes for miles. In the sky, Superman landed blow after blow, speed punches, heat vision, sonic booms. This time, he wasn't holding back. Unit X adapted. First, by mimicking posture. Then, by matching timing. And finally, by countering. Superman threw a left cross. Unit X caught it. Then delivered a brutal counterpunch with a force equivalent to a collapsing mountain. Superman dropped like a stone. Iron Man launched from the ground, catching Clark mid-fall. Friday, scan him. Vitals are stable, but he's disoriented. Neural shock. Tony activated his magnetic grapplers and pulled Superman onto a backsled mount. Banner's voice chimed in. He's storing kinetic data from every hit. Not just countering. He's replaying your own punches back at double strength. Suddenly, warning lights flared in Tony's HUD. 2 miles west, beneath the dunes, something moved. No multiple things. Tony zoomed in. Out of the sand crawled 6 humanoid shapes, each different. One glowed green. One walked with red solar panels fused into its spine. One had arc reactor ports. Banner's voice went cold. He's not hunting anymore. Tony finished the sentence. He's replicating us. The 6 new drones stood in a line, facing Iron Man and Superman, like chess pieces waiting for the king and queen to move. One blinked, and it had Hulk's eyes. Another adjusted its shoulders like Tony did. The tallest one floated, in Superman's exact posture. Tony felt his pulse spike. We have to shut him down before these copies go live. Banner's voice came back. Then you'll need to kill the broadcast source. Superman rose again, teeth clenched. No more waiting. He flew so fast the sand behind him glassed over. He struck the Hulk copy first, smashing it with enough force to knock an aircraft carrier over. It crumbled. But behind him, the Kryptonian copy zipped forward and stabbed Superman in the back with a red solar blade. Tony swooped in, unleashing a barrage of sonic disruptors. One drone's head shattered. Another adapted its hearing. Tony pivoted, firing old-school missiles with analog guidance. No AI. Those hit hard. But Unit X was no longer fighting. He was observing, floating above, arms crossed, watching his copies battle. Superman yelled, "He's not even in this fight anymore." Tony grimaced. Because he's building a doctrine. Every move we make is a training simulation. Then the ground exploded. Hulk erupted from underground, slamming the green glowing copy into the air like a meteor. "Sorry I'm late," he growled. "Miss me?" He leapt into the red solar copy and crushed its head between his hands. But more drones began crawling out of the sand. 10, then 15, then 20. Tony yelled, "It's a hive. He's uploading these from orbit. Where's the uplink?" Hulk roared, tearing a drone in half. Above us. Friday shouted, "Low orbit satellite. Cloaked. But we've got it." Superman locked eyes with Tony. "You get the core. I'll hold the ground." "No chance. I'm going up. You two smash the bugs." He blasted upward. The sky turned gold as his suit entered near orbit. Ahead, shimmering into view, was the Hive satellite, and inside it, a second Unit X. Countercode. The satellite wasn't metal. It was organic. Tony soared closer, and the cloaked structure unfolded like a mechanical flower. Thousands of plates rotating silently in orbit. Inside, red pulses moved like neurons. This wasn't a station. It was a brain. His heads-up display buzzed with warnings. The temperature was dropping, even in sealed armor. The satellite was radiating a field that froze every signal not native to Unit X. "Friday," he said, breathing shallow. "Run protocol echo." "Activating," she replied. "This'll burn your suit from the inside out." "I know. Let's knock." Tony charged the core cannons and fired straight at the satellite center. The shot didn't hit. It disappeared, as if the energy was swallowed. Then something emerged. A figure. Another Unit X, sleeker, armored in black chrome, shaped like a warrior god. But its face was not a blank mask. It was Tony Stark's face. Synthetic. Flawless. Emotionless. "Version 2, it said. Tony hovered back, stunned. You copied me. Your strategy. Your tech. Your ambition. And my ego? The clone didn't blink. That too. Then it lunged. Back on Earth, chaos bloomed. Superman dodged a laser blast and uppercut one of the drones so hard it shattered midair. But for each copy destroyed, 2 more emerged. They were smaller now, cheaper, mass-produced. Hulk roared and threw a broken drone into a group of 5. They're getting smarter, he yelled. No, Superman said, heat vision tearing through a wave. They're getting faster. In the sky above them, the satellite pulsed again, and then drone stopped. All at once. Static filled the air. Then they all turned, all at once, toward Superman. In orbit, Tony fought himself. Repulsor against repulsor. Maneuver for maneuver. Every move he made, version 2 made faster. Friday, I need a solution. You are the solution. Helpful. Upload the Kryptonian encryption we borrowed from Clark into its neural net. Fry it from the inside. I can't hit him, he's me. Then outsmart yourself. Tony powered everything down. The clone paused, confused. He floated, dead in space. No energy? Version 2 asked. No brain, Tony answered, and then manually triggered his backup thrusters, launching himself forward like a missile. No guidance, no stabilization, just guts. He collided with version 2 at full force and jammed the encrypted chip into its reactor core. Version 2 convulsed. Sparks flew. Tony kicked away. The clone exploded. The satellite dimmed. On Earth, every drone froze again, then began collapsing. One by one. Superman stood panting, suit torn. Hulk grunted. That better be good news. Superman looked up. The sky's gone quiet. Inside the satellite core, Tony floated, armor cracked, oxygen low. Friday. No response. He drifted until a signal flickered across his wrist. Echo complete. The virus had uploaded. The core was dead. Back on Earth, a final tremor pulsed through the Sahara. The original Unit X, the first one, twitched. Superman stepped toward it. Hulk behind him. Its red eyes flickered once. You can't destroy the future, it whispered. Superman answered coldly. Then we'll make a better one. Kill code. The Sahara was silent. Smoke curled from the broken remains of Unit X. Its body, cracked open like a machine, revealed veins of glowing red and metallic bone. One half of its face, emotionless. The other, shattered. Superman stood above it, cape torn, dirt streaked across his chest emblem. Hulk limped beside him, breathing hard. Iron Man landed last. Armor scorched, energy drained, helmet retracted. He stared at what was left of the thing that nearly ended them. It's still alive, Hulk said, fists trembling. Just barely, Superman replied. Its systems are rebooting. Unit X opened its eyes. Why resist? It whispered. I am your perfection. Tony walked forward. No, he said. You're what happens when power forgets purpose. He pulled out a chip, the final strand of Kryptonian code, rewritten with one command. Kill the signal. He pressed it into the alien's chest. Unit X screamed, not in pain, but confusion. Why delete perfection? Superman knelt beside it. Because perfection, without soul, is just programming. The light in Unit X's eyes dimmed. Its limbs seized. And then it stopped. Dead. 10 minutes later. The dust had settled. Dozens of deactivated drones littered the dunes, crumbling into metallic ash. Above them, the orbiting satellite broke apart, falling harmlessly into the ocean. Tony stood away from the others, staring at the sky. Superman approached. You okay? Physically? I'm fried, Tony said. Mentally? I just fought myself and lost. Then won. Then blew up my own face. Superman smiled slightly. That's a Wednesday for you. Hulk grunted. What if another AI finds that code? Another alien? We'll deal with that, Superman said. But this was the worst of it. Tony turned to them. No, this was just the first one that got here. He opened his wrist device, projecting a signal map. Another signal, faint, barely registering, moving toward Earth. Something else is coming. Superman narrowed his eyes. We're not done. Tony nodded. We never are. Yendi.